The Court of Appeal and its justices have been, permit me to say, trending lately in both conventional and social media. The proceedings and verdicts of your lordships on the presidential election attracted considerable attention, particularly.
I would like to crave your indulgence to join me at the foyer for a farewell.
I think wherever he is now, if he's watching me, his conscience will be telling him that what he did to this country is only God that will forgive him.
Well, thank you. I think we must first congratulate Mahmoud Yakubu for staying as INEC chairman for a whole 10 years. But the general perception of his tenure was was disastrous by many Nigerians who expected so much because he promised so much and delivered so little.
Good day, my name is Odumiwa Ijobi, Assistant Commissioner of Police and Force Populations Officer of the Nigerian Police Force. Today, the Nigerian Police Force wants to one.
If I perish, I perish.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News, Gist and Blog. How many guys have heard that INEC chairman has been removed? Or no, they did remove. I don't know if it is removed or replaced. And the whole story is making rounds. But we're going to deal with it step by step, and the procedure in which Tinubu is trying to play the sense in the eyes of Nigeria. But first of all, I want you guys to watch this particular video from Arise TV News on how this lawyer and activist, what he said in all of this. We'll be right back to do some messages to it.
Of course, you know more than I do that if you are given a responsibility for a particular function in Nigeria to do, you allow the people to assess you. My dear sister, you see, discover that Professor Nena Oti, the returning officer in Abia State, in Abia State during the 2023 general election, that woman is still being celebrated till tomorrow. Going by the immediate past INEC chairman, I think wherever he is now, if he's watching me, his conscience will be telling him that what he did to this country is only God that will forgive him. You are talking about legacy. I don't know where to start. This is the man that collected all the money he sent for approval from 2019 general election to 2023 general election were all approved for him. He collected all those money and ended up in giving us election that is marred with fraud and irregularity. 2023 election is the worst of its kind. You came out, you come up with a policy, and you conducted election, especially that of a presidential election. The same ballot box, the same polling booths, you transmitted the result of that of Federal House of Rep and that of Senate electronically. Reaching that of the president, you said that there was a hitch. And people challenged, you still went ahead to declare the result and ask the Nigerians to go to court, knowing what will be the outcome of that incident in court. So he has left a very big negative legacy for himself, because I know that the president has already awarded him with an honorary award, because the president is also one of the major beneficiaries of that election irregularity. So if it's a very sane society, as he is leaving the office, this anti-graft agency should step in to get him arrested so that he will not run away and leave the shore of this country. Of course, there is no way he will leave the shore of this country. Run into which country? So he has left a very bad legacy for INEC, and it required a very big electoral reform and somebody with conscience that will come to right the wrong, because the younger ones who are coming have seen Nigerian election as cash and carry. if you can manipulate it, you are there. So, and you have seen what is also going on in National Assembly, how they are fighting among themselves, and nobody is talking about electoral reform. Upon all the whole protests, upon all the whole recommendations, upon all the whole memo sent to them, please reform this so that we'll have a credible election in 2027. But they are the beneficiary of that fraud, and they want that fraud to continue. So when you are talking about legacy, the Professor Mahmoud Yakub deserved the best award for the worst electoral umpire in the whole world. That is my assessment, and I believe that will be the assessment of the majority of true Nigerians.
Well, Maxwell Opara, your candor will certainly be appreciated by many. A persistent criticism across the electoral cycles, of course, have been the perceived lack of INEC's true independence, attributed to political influences and interference, partisan politics, etc. How do you think Professor Yakubu defended the Commission's independence against the political class, and what could his predecessor do better to avoid the same situations?
He worked with the politicians, the power that be, as against the Nigerian people, and that's why during his own time, you discover that somebody somebody that never participated in a primary becomes the candidate of a political party. In his own time, we discover a lot of irregularities. I don't know where to start. So the point I am making generally is that Professor Mahmoud Yakub has failed this country. He has brought in a very bad precedent that the person that is coming, because the person that is coming may be worse than him, because why I'm saying that the person may be worse than him is that unless we amend this electoral act and correct all those irregularities that we have seen, because judiciary also assisted him in that irregularity, where they say that a policy made by an institution is no longer part of the law, because you made a policy, and it was based on that your policy that people risk their life from Asia, America, UK to Nigeria to come and register. After registering, they went back. During the election, they came back to register, only for you to tell them that their votes was not captured in IRF because of the technical hitch. So I don't know how to describe him. In fact, I don't even know how Professor Yakubu will go to bed and sleep with his two eyes closed, considering what is happening in this country. Go to Abia State. You see what is happening in Abia State because of the decision of a woman. The decision, one decision, see the kind of development that is going on in Abia State. Because when somebody, I think one governor told the commissioners, you know that nobody voted me here. You know how I managed to get into this office. So nobody should even try to direct me, and which is true. Nobody voted him. Everybody knows how he entered into that office. So free and fair election is the key. If you are talking about insecurity, it anchors on free and fair election. If you are talking about inflation, if you are talking about whatever thing that is going on in the society, it's anchored on free and fair election. So when you now allow an expired criminal to enter into National Assembly, or you give him the helm of affairs of a state, where he will be controlling allocations coming to the state and various local governments, what do you expect to? You cannot give what you don't have. So the point I'm making is that he has destroyed, he contributed and destroyed the economy of this country. That is the naked truth. He contributed in giving a very bad image to this country. So, and I believe, I don't know how the president is going to appoint somebody that will not do his bidding. That's why we are also calling that the appointment of the INEC chairman should be removed from the office of the president. So are you saying that the President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, you know, will go and appoint somebody that will not work with him in 2027. We need to wake up from our dream. So the Mahmoud Yakub has led the president, and to worsen it, most of the decisions he took has been received judicial backing, because had it been that the judiciary took a decision and read some wrongs, nullify some elections, remove technicality, I don't think that they will have the guts to rig election and ask us to go to court, because it has been happening. Remember that during Morisiu, the time Morisiu was the INEC chairman in Anambra election, during that time of Anduba, people were still queuing online. Morisiu announced result and declared Anduba winner, and said that America should come to Nigeria and learn how to conduct election. These are the things that we are seeing, for goodness sake. So he has left, and I allow his conscience to judge him whether what he did for that 2019 general election and the one he did in 2023 general election, whether he announced those results in line with the mandate of the masses of this country.
The lady we was talking about from Abia State, this is the woman that me personally would have recommended that she should be the new active INEC chairman. But unfortunately, they will not allow her. But I want you guys to watch what she said during 2023 presidential election or the Abia State governorship election, where they tried to bribe him or using the federal might that she resisted. I want you guys to watch it.
Never participated in any election. Never. But duty came calling. I made my inquiries from Abuja, and I said, if I perish, I perish. Amadu gave mayor. They came with their threats. They came with their money. They came with their intimidation. I will mark. I didn't start today. I stand here before God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. I have never, I repeat, never sold a handout. Never. I have never defrauded anyone. Never. Under me, votes must count. Under me, the people's mandate will be upheld. Because Professor Nana Oti, the mother of 3 children, the wife of Unanoti, the daughter of Ibewo, the daughter of Afibo, the daughter of Ebony State, the daughter of Ugibo, the daughter of Nigeria, can never do evil. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
How many INEC in every state that would be able to say or do exactly what she did? Nobody. I will definitely know. There's none. Now they're just trying to paint it out. Oh, we just remove Yakubu Momodu. We are putting a new one. The same person they are putting. If you do a track record or go and do investigation, unfortunately, they are all one. Now, this lady for me would have been the next INEC chairman, but unfortunately, you know, Tinubu will never give who they cannot control. This kind of strictly woman. Imagine her being the national INEC chairman. But unfortunately, we know that they will not allow her. But I want you guys to watch the lady, the selected lady that Tinubu recently appointed to replace Yakubu Mamodu. I want you guys to watch it. We'll be right back.
To hand over to you formally and officially as the acting chairman of INEC. Thank you. But beyond that,
members of the press and our guests here present, good afternoon. I would like to express my gratitude to God Almighty for His divine grace and to appreciate the Honorable former Chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, for giving me the opportunity to serve as acting Chairman of INEC. I'm deeply humbled and honored. We assure you that the Commission will do our very best to maintain and uphold the standards you have set. We will continue from where you stopped. We acknowledge the significant contributions and achievements made by Professor Mahmoud Yakubu during his tenure, in particular, his hard work and dedication in serving our country meritoriously. We wish you God's guidance and blessings in your future endeavors. As you step down, we pray for greater success in whatever you set out to do. We are confident that history will judge you very well. I pledge to uphold the integrity of the Commission and work with utmost professionalism, dedication, and in unity with the Honorable Commissioners, the Recs, the directors, all the staff of the country, of INEC nationwide, and our stakeholders to ensure that we continue the success and growth of
pre-registration option. I would like to crave your indulgence to join me at the foyer for a farewell photograph. I thank you very much, and God bless you.
We all know that these people, they are all birds of same feather. There is no how Tinubu will want to put somebody there as long that is the one that is appointed this particular lady to replace Yakubu Mamodu. There is no how that this lady will not work with him. It is not going to be possible. He cannot appoint you. Before he appoints you, he must have that connection, that level of trust with you before he appoints you. Anyway, but I just want you guys to listen to what Isaac Fayoshe said in all of this. We'll be right back.
In a country where a president, they elect, they put INEC chairman, they remove and replace, that country will be difficult to get free, fair, and credible election. In a country where a president, they remove and put INEC chairman, so yeah, INEC chairman, oh yeah, come, sit down. That country, no, because they can't be free and fair election. Remember, he who pay the piper dictates the tune. It is like when president put commissioner there or minister, and you expect the minister to be doing your own bidding, not the president bidding. It's not possible. It's like president will put Wike from PDP. Wike be PDP, but they'll make Wike Abuja minister. You want Wike to be loyal to PDP or to APC? It's the same. Senate, House of Reps must remove president power in INEC. And the only way you can remove it, and INEC can be independent, is by we the people or the Senate bringing INEC chairperson. But when president, they say, yeah, hand over to the next, they are handing over the selection to the next selector. Okay? Congrats. And Mahmoud, wicked man. You don't come street now. You go see the election, you conduct yourself. You go feel am. I'm sure you no go take before you go join the Wallace Club. Bye-bye to Jagba Jagba.
To what Isaac Fayoshe said, for me, it is the basic fact that Tinubu will not appoint somebody he cannot control. And anybody Tinubu appoints must work with Tinubu. Anyway, but I want you guys to watch or listen to what Peter Randy said in none of this. We'll be right back.
The former INEC chairman, the outgoing chairman of INEC, Professor of Glitches Mahmoud Yakubu. Professor Mahmoud, congratulations on your successful retirement after 10 years of catastrophic leadership and electoral banditry over Nigerians with your gang of electoral bandits. Mahmoud Yakubu, you may retire for all you care and shamelessly hand over to whomever may be your man Friday. But Professor of Glitches, you will not be forgotten. And in the fullness of time, you go tell Nigerians waiting exactly caused the glitch for 2023. The lives of innocent Nigerians who have been impacted by your conduct and actions within the last 10 years, they will ask the questions and you will give the answers. Mahmoud Yakubu, thank you for teaching Nigerians to know, say, academic qualification and religious posturing in no mean integrity. But as you go into this your retirement, Professor of Glitches, now good time for you to finally realize, say, power is transient. And no matter how long time you spend for power, if you don't leave power, power will leave you. And one day, you too can be referred to as a former this or that. And Mahmoud Yakubu, now good time for you to finally think and introspect and ask yourself the question, was it really worth it? Your conduct within the last 10 years, was it really worth it, Professor Mahmoud? Mahmoud Yakubu, you wrote INEC position paper telling Nigerians and the world why electronic technology was the only way to go to achieve credible electoral process in this country. In your words, you say it is to reduce human interference as much as possible. Mahmoud Yakubu, at the end of 10 years, how far? Were you able to reduce human interference in our elections, or you became the major human interference? Professor of Glitches, were you able to reduce human interference in our electoral process, or you became the grand patron of human interference? May your conscience answer the question. Mahmoud Yakubu, 2018, you lead team of INEC staff to go NCC. You set up steering committee with the then ICT head of NCC, Umar Dambata. Una invite telecommunication agencies. They tell Una how they have helped JAM to conduct successful CBT. You say it must also be implemented in INEC. Mahmoud Yakubu, 10 years later, how far? What happened with the electronic technology you were championing? And what is the legacy you are leaving in INEC after 10 years? I don't blame you, Professor Mahmoud. It is not your fault. It is Nigerians as we as a country that permit and allow public office holders to engage in any level of corruption and criminality without consequences and accountability. But this 2027, where they come, God keeping us alive, the vote of the people must count. Nigerians must wake up and realize that until our votes begin to count, our lives will continue to be victims and not citizens. You don't hand over to anybody where you like, the most senior person there. But it is inconsequential. The madam where you hand over to Barrister Mary Agbamu Chembu, she is one of you in the electoral gang where to pretend the 2023 criminality you called elections. After all, the work of anybody they call acting INEC chairman, waiting it be. It is simple. To be placeholder for the destruction of the commission until a destroyer-in-chief is appointed by the presidency to come and completely destroy and continue from where you stop. 2015, Buhari appointed his own niece, Madam Amina Zakari, who began the complete destruction of the entire Jega legacy. And then he brought you in, who for 10 years have carried out this reign of electoral terror on Nigerians. Nigerians, the message now to all of us, National Assembly don't come back from holiday. They will begin implementation and passing amendment of Electoral Act constitutional review. Now there everybody must mount and place focus. Nigerians, we must raise the issue of free and fair election to the level of an electoral crisis. Not be only to talk, that National Assembly now where all men must mount on Occupy NAS to demand that the vote of the people must count. Because as Mahmoud don't finish in own go without consequences, they don't already they prepare for a replacement who will of course be worse than him. And if you do nothing, what you see is what you get. 2027, it will be Shege subscription renewal program. If the people where they prepare to destroy country, they mobilize, why are the victims of the wickedness not mobilizing? 2027, if President Tinubu and APC like, they should appoint their ancestors as INEC chairman. If 200 million people wake up and say your vote must count, it will begin to count. Don't let anybody deceive you. Between now and January next year, when electoral law will be passed, I don't get any other work God giving us life and strength than this issue of INEC and judiciary and election. If judiciary been do wetin they're supposed to do, we no go there where we dey. But since judiciary has become a willing tool in the hands of politicians, and to reform them, we must go through National Assembly, then let us mount with National Assembly. Senate President Akpabio is back. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas is back. Let us go and camp with them. Nigeria, while you plug every loophole, there must be mandatory electronic transmission of results. It must reflect in the Electoral Act, INEC guidelines, and even Constitution where necessary. Insist on choosing your leaders. If Nigerians want to vote for a goat, let it be through a majority of the people giving a mandate. Make nobody come through window, come they pretend say you want the sweep house. No, the process of getting into power is more important than the power that you get. Everybody that needs to be called out, I go call out. There no one may we talk am, but we must talk am. These coming elections, Nigerians, let your voices be heard and make your votes count. Other than that, victimhood is waiting for all of us. Congratulations, Professor Mahmood Yakubu. As you pray every day throughout this your retirement to your creator, may you be reminded of what exactly caused the glitch. Have a successful retirement and may the force of the glitches be with you. My name is Peter for Nigeria.
Now, before I go, I will leave you guys with the rest compilation that I made from Arise TV News, what individual and activists and all of that concern Nigerians, the elite, what they are saying about this INEC chairman and their opinion about him getting arrested. Full scale of investigation, the cause of the glitch, and how he embezzled the money that was given to him in 2019, 2023 to conduct a peaceful election. And I want you guys to watch the rest video. We'll be right back.
Well, thank you. I think we must first congratulate Mahmood Yakubu for staying as INEC chairman for a whole 10 years. But the general perception of his tenure was was disastrous by many Nigerians who expected so much because he promised so much and delivered so little. He has held sway. He has been more or less politically correct. He has been taciturn. He has been lethargic in the exercise of the immense powers of the Independent National Electoral Commission, which he held on to, and Nigerians needed to see that kind of gusto in punishing those who perpetrated electoral violence, electoral malpractices, even in his twilight in office, where there was blatant violation of campaign regulations. He just didn't say anything and didn't do anything. That scenario of the so much promise with regards to the electronic transmission of results that failed in the 2020 elections was more or less an unforgivable offense to Nigerians, and the man seems to care less. And despite all this, the fact that he got all the monies he needed, as you know, INEC enjoys a constitutional provision that says that all the monies it needed must be paid to it, directly from the Consolidated Revenue Fund. And then he exercised so much independence that nobody, no authority or person, not the president, could be expected to influence it. But Professor Mahmood actually did not do well in the eyes of Nigerians. Well, Nigerians bid him well, but unfortunately, the legacy he lives with is that of huge disappointment, and in this expectation that whoever will take over from him must have a lot to cure in the eyes of Nigerians as we speak. And that's unfortunate, because when you now look at the landscape of those who can possibly replace him, you go into history. We have a long line of restricted personalities, either justices, retired justices, or academics that have been appointed as chairmen of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Some of them who have been appointed outside this category have also not done so well. The reminiscence of the days of Professor Iwu, which thrown INEC as a very controversial body. Many Nigerians are very dissatisfied with the elections. However, I think as we move on to having a new chairman, we cannot expect anything less than the standard that has been set by former President Goodluck Jonathan, when he declared that I didn't even know the person that was recommended, probably from his consultations with the National Council of States, and the man, when he was appointed, I'm talking about Professor Tahiru Juga, did not disappoint. And in the 2 elections that he conducted. So that's the kind of high standard that is required. But mind you, Professor Jega cannot be wholesomely regarded as an academic. He was a civil society personality. So when we are, these academics, these non-institutional persons, when they come as INEC chairman, may not do very well. I still recall, I don't want to say that, but if you look at the history, whether it's of Whiskey or Justice Akpata, you know, that semblance of that impartiality and independence that comes with their pedigree as justices, who has a way of, you know, igniting a perception of confidence in the process. So I think we should move on to a point where we think the institutional personalities should be appointed, persons who've been there, who have some kind of experience, who know the problems, not appointing outsiders who may be tainted.
Should be to articulate what the qualities of an INEC chairman should be. In my view, the INEC chairman needs to be someone who is impartial, someone who is independent, someone who has integrity, someone who has competence, someone who is accountable, someone who is reasonably professional, and someone who can be trusted to act fairly. I noticed in your intro, you said there is widespread public mistrust, and I think for good reason. No one who has witnessed recent elections in Nigeria, especially the 2023 elections, can have very good things to say about INEC. It is a matter of profound regret that Professor Mahmood was allowed to go without telling Nigerians what glitches prevented the transmission of the presidential election results. That's a key element of impartiality, a key element of independence, a key element of fairness, and more importantly, a key element of accountability. He simply said electoral, he just said glitches until today, and he's left without telling us, obviously feeling unaccountable to anyone. So these qualities we need to hold highly and to evaluate anyone who is coming forward to hold the position of INEC chairman. Because of course, as you know, credible elections are very important. They help to strengthen the institutions of the state. They help to enhance the rule of law. They are obviously necessary for political accountability and obviously legitimacy, because credible elections produce credible leaders, and such leaders are said to be legitimate because they are exercising powers in the name of the people. But where you have an incompetent or corrupt or fraudulent electoral umpire, then the outcome cannot be trusted, and we'll be back again to square one. But in my view, the solution is not really legislation. You cannot legislate for these qualities. The issue has always been one of governance. How do you produce men and women of integrity, of independence, who are fair-minded, who are fairly reasonably professional, and who are independent and honest, and who can deliver to Nigerians credible elections? Those are the things that the president should be concerned about. And this is one issue that he shouldn't politicize by looking at his own interests and seeing someone who could be controlled politically.
What do you think about this new INEC chair lady or chairman, whatever they call her? Now, what do you think about her? They said she is from Kogi State and she has a very good reputation. She has been a professor since 1989 and she has a very good track record that is well recommendable by the society. Tinubu appointed her and sent her to the Senate for screening, blah, 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 blah. So what do you guys think about her? I want you guys to comment it in the comment section. Anyway, we cannot judge a book by its cover. Let's wait in 2027 and let's see what she will do differently. But we all know as long We all know as long it was Tinubu that elected him, not just a neutral body or the Senate, Tinubu elected him and sent it to the Senate to go and for approval whatsoever. We all know that there's already a dirty game there because majority in the Senate are all APC. There's no how they're going to ask a question that we subject to our own already appointed by the president. They remember the same thing that they did in Rivers State. How did they do it? After next week, President Tinubu selected that particular lady who does not have any result, who lied about her certificate. But they could not do anything. They just, okay, our President Semo will put you here. They just appointed her. Now that they are coming against trying to play all this mind game, as long as Tinubu that selected this person, this lady will also select Tinubu in 2027. That is just my own personal opinion. The court which Tinubu control order the police to arrest INEC Chairman. They are just trying to do this so that Nigeria will just believe, oh, we are working, we are fighting against corruption. How are they going to do that? The person that selects Tinubu into office and you want to arrest him, is it for probing or is it for investigation? Is it for questioning? All of this is just a drama. We all know Nigerian governments are so corrupt. There's no how the judicial will do anything, neither the police, as long as this man did not work against Tinubu. Tinubu is still the president. So what are they going to do? Are they going to question you that, oh, how dare you select Tinubu? It's not going to be possible. Well, are they going to ask him what causes the glitch that makes you not to be able to upload the result of the president after uploading the state governor, the House of Rep, and the Senate result, but only the president's own was unable to be uploaded to the RF? Anyway, this is when I'm going to be ending the video today. We love you. Remember, God love you more. If you love us, the only way you can show your love to us is to comment your thoughts about this video. Above all, subscribe. If you have not done so, please, if you do, turn on your notification bell so that you wouldn't miss out on future uploads. Until we meet again, stay tuned, Plan B TV. I love you guys. I'm waiting for you guys in the comment section. Peace out.